love you, Mom, I love you. Life has been good, but now I feel different, I feel funny. Cause last night I itched my privates and the white stuff came out. A stick liquid soaked my body, and I scream and I scream, I scream. Something is broken, something is wrong, but why do I feel so right? My winky is leaking, my winky is leaking. My winky is leaking.
My winky's leaking. My winky's leaking. Oh, my winky's leaking. My winky's leaking. My winky's leaking.
My winky is leaking.
My winky is leaking. Happy Gilmore too.
Dad, I love you. Mom, I love you. Life has been good, but now I feel different, I feel funny. Cause last night I itched my privates and white stuff came out. A stick liquid soaked my body, and I screamed. I screamed. Something is broken, something is wrong, but why do I feel so right? My winky's leaking. My winky's leaking. My winky's leaking.
I hope you guys' winkies aren't leaking out there. It's great to be here with you in the afternoon in the middle of my other work. Multiple works going on right now. Trying to clean the house, trying to do my other job, and I'm coming on here to do my other job. So it's good to be here in the middle of the day. I am going to try to keep it positive here and just talk about what we all want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about me. I don't think I'm going to talk much about me, to be honest, because it will just be sad and annoying. So I'm going to stay focused mostly on the pop culture stuff, the wrestling stuff. But I will vaguely, touch on we had a pretty good Christmas kids-wise and stuff the other day. So now we're going to pay for it coming up the next couple of days and weeks, and we'll see what happens there. But that's about all I'll say about that. But the bottom line is I hope you guys had a really good Christmas. Had a good off time if you don't celebrate. Whatever you celebrate. I just hope you had a good time. But I know a lot of people are into the Christmas stuff. So thank you for enjoying that. There's a lot of news out there, too. I do want to get to this news. There's just so many things, man, that we could get, that I got to talk about today. And I want to get it all on this video. So we'll do that. We're obviously hoping everybody gets in here and gets the alert that I'm live in the middle of the day. It's a weird time to be live. Some people are still off. They're on like vacations and stuff. Other people are back to work or haven't taken a break from work. Like I said, I'm kind of in the middle of my other work day, and I've got time today because of the weird schedule to pop on. So Pretty happy to do that. There's a lot going on. Like I said, wrestling. We're going to talk WWE, AEW. There's some Star Trek news that I'll mention briefly. There is a Happy Gilmore teaser. We'll watch that. There's movies that are out, that are coming out. There's a couple of things. It really went by quickly. The Christmas stuff really happened fast. It's amazing how fast it happened. I know, and it's crazy because I wasn't up on Christmas Eve until like 5 a.m, like I had been the last few years. So it was, last several years. So probably that was because of other things. But like the bottom line is, like, I actually finally sort of got to sleep at a somewhat normal time the other night. But it's just chaos. It's chaos everywhere. Dynamite was good. I didn't expect to see Moxley get attacked by all three. Hangman needs to get the belt, and hopefully we see a feud with Switchblade. Right now I'm not that into AEW. I got to admit it. I'm watching, I'm watching it, but it's not, wrestling isn't that, and I can prove that wrestling is not that interesting right now. Like, it's not just me. I know it's not just me because it's just not that interesting right now at all. And it's because I look at the wrestling news that's out there and it just sucks. Like, we could spend time going over one of the most interesting things of the last couple of weeks has been, Ricochet sucking. And how is that the most interesting thing, So when you look at like Wrestling Inc., and there's a couple of websites you can look at, but AEW Dynamite review, like nobody cares much. Dave Meltzer talking about TV deals, the relationship with WWE PC trainers. These are the stories. Tony Schiavone on why WWE's Vince McMahon didn't see Bret Hart as world champion. Like, these are all like behind the scenes shoot stories or stories from, other things. They're not like breaking news. This guy's doing this. Here's more. Obafemi, I don't even know who that is, opens up about the love of cinema. Who gives a shit? The love of cinema? WWE's Dominic Mysterio looks back on the death of Eddie Guerrero. Chris Jericho explains reasoning behind AEW pivoting shows to smaller arenas. What the fuck? I can tell you the reasoning. They can't sell the fucking tickets. Why is this a store? What? Dude, what are these news stories? AEW Continental Classic semifinal is bound for World's End. It's all just factual sort of statements about what's going on or old news stories rehashed. What are these stories? Booker T names the toughest shoot wrestlers in the business. Like, these are all like, there's nothing going on here. This is a fucking news story. This is the number 9 news story on the page. This is your number 9 story. But it's not much different than number 1, 2, or 3, or 4, but it's the number 9th. WWE NXT star Lexis King claims that he loves Heritage Cup more than his girlfriend. I mean, that's kind of funny. But I don't know. Is that really the biggest news? Like, what is going on? There's just what the fuck is this news? No wonder people make up wrestling news the last couple of years. It's no wonder the last couple of years that wrestling, the wrestling YouTube channels that are thriving, it used to be channels like mine. It used to be channels like the No DQ people, Catman, me, multiple other people. It used to be channels that covered breaking wrestling news or covered current wrestling news or current wrestling topics. Those wrestling channels were the biggest and the ones to go to. And I'm not just saying me, because I'm always been kind of smaller, but I mean like somewhat valid, smaller channel. But there's always been bigger channels that do it really well. But in the last couple of years, man, I'll tell you, the wrestling channels that do really well, they're either the wrestling channels that are like pretend almost like it's real and they talk about it like it's real and they're like, it was so great when he came out and then the music hit. Like if you just talk about wrestling like you love everything and it's probably real, that does pretty well. And the other thing that does really well and better is when you just lie about wrestling stories. If you put Triple H on the cover, you put Roman Reigns from the other night at Raw or something like that on your thumbnail, and then you have AI alter it slightly so that Roman Reigns is bleeding and like a pool of blood is in the ring, and then you go Roman Reigns' desperate injury last night on Raw, and then you make a video where you're like, last night Roman Reigns was on Monday Night Raw. Fans noticed a tweak in the match where he grabbed his left knee. But apparently, it ended up being just a work, and Roman Reigns is not actually injured, although there is still speculation that he might have tweaked his leg in the match. There is no major injury at this time. However, we will let you know if anything changes. And there are some rumors that he may have done something to his ACL. But as of now, it seems this was just a momentary lapse in the match. But they make the thumbnail like Roman Reigns dying in the ring, and like it's just like retarded. But people follow these channels, and not only that, they sub them. You're talking about like 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers, and they constantly watch the videos. So it's like, do people just want to be lied to? So it's like, and even Sean's View was dead. His channel was dead for like 5 years. His channel dropped below mine. Sean was literally doing worse than my channel for like 3 years straight. And now he does way better again because people just want the fake stories. I don't know what it is, but I am definitely thinking about relaunching my channel into like sort of the make-believe realm because that is what's selling. That's what's doing well. I don't understand, but that's what's happening. That's how bored the wrestling fans are because the wrestling news sucks. I mean, I would argue the biggest news story right now is, you could make fun of all those things that I just showed you, but I do think that Dustin Rhodes, I think this is a valid news story. I think Dustin Rhodes signing a multi-year contract with AEW, while some people may not give a shit, and some people may not care, and some people may be disappointed in this, that's probably one of the better news stories of all time. And I will say that it is true that, a lot of sites used to piggyback off of like Wrestling Inc. And honestly, since Raj Giri left Wrestling Inc., I feel like it's kind of just turned into just whatever world, but I could be wrong. But I will say that WrestleZone does a better job of picking up news stories, no doubt. And I would say that, like I said, this is probably the biggest maybe story of the week. I mean, we are in the worst time this week, these next couple of weeks of wrestling news and care. Nobody gives a crap about wrestling from like December 1st till, January 10th. Nobody cares about wrestling from December until the Royal Rumble. When the Royal Rumble happens, that's when people wake up again. Oh, it's a Royal Rumble, yeah, and we're off to WrestleMania. And then you sort of like roll off of that the rest of the year up until about November again, and it starts slowing down, and then December's dead until the Rumble. So, we do this every year. We do it every year. And it is the dead zone of wrestling time. But I'm saying that this has been going on for the last 6 weeks. That wrestling news has kind of been crappy, kind of been dead. But, it certainly is absolutely dead right now. Like, it is just in a coma. And it will be, like we said, until until the new year, and then we'll be back at it again. Oh my God! Thank God I don't know. Oh my God! Wow, Gerald Armstrong.
Everyone loves me. Take a look around here.
Oh man, Gerald, thank you.
Everyone loves me.
$15.
Take a along. Everyone loves the Dawn. Take a look around Hillary. Everyone loves me. Take a look around Hillary and
My Christmas is May. My daughter's parked car was hit by another car and it will probably be totaled. I had to pull money from my retirement plan that will help pay for a new car.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, Gerald Armstrong. Gerald, thank you for the $15. That's crazy, bro. That is awful. The amount of cars that are totaled nowadays, too, is out of control because the sensors in the cars are so ridiculous that, just cars are just totaled. Anything hits these fucking cars, and they just total them. They just, yep, you're done. That car's done. See ya. So that sucks, man. But I know you got to take care of the kids, though. But that sucks. Yeah, I don't want to complain. I don't want to go into my week because whatever. You know what I mean? It's been good, to be honest. I'm just about to go through the dark times, But that's all, I don't want to go into it. The good thing is, what I'll say is, I'm 40 years old and the worst, I haven't really had to deal with too much crazy stuff, to be honest. It's all about how hard do you want to work to be able to acquire things. It's up to me. It's up to you. It's up to me. So, yeah, man, I don't know. But that sucks. I get that. Yeah, the sensors in the cars, it's just like, man, you get bumped, you get whatever. They look at it and they go, yeah, you can't drive this because to get this fixed is crazy now. So we'll just total it. Like, cars are just totaled like in an instant now. Just, nope, that's done. Total that car. I don't know. It was good to see Hillary Clinton again, though. That was nice. Anybody else enjoy that? They held her up like Simba. It was beautiful. I want to thank everybody who followed me on TikTok. I don't even know how much longer TikTok's going to be around. Joe Cronin Show on TikTok. Got an extra 40 followers this week on TikTok. Everybody who watches the shorts. And I really want to thank everybody who watched the Corrupted podcast. So that's good. Everybody that whether you watched it as a member or you went on Patreon to download the audio, however you watched Corrupted, me and Luke appreciate that. It got 60 downloads on the Patreon. 60 people on Patreon downloaded the Corrupted podcast, and 33 people on the memberships list watched the Corrupted podcast on Christmas. So potentially about 90 to 100 people or so, maybe a little bit less. So maybe 80 people. We'll say 80 to be conservative. 80 people or so checked out the Corrupted podcast on Christmas Eve. And it was a shorter version than what we wanted, but that was my fault. But we got it out there. And the next episode will probably be longer, maybe, because we'll have more time and I'll plan it better. We won't be as busy with Christmas stuff to go. We kind of didn't think about how busy we would all be. But although it was mostly me, Luke was ready to go. Happy Gilmore released a trailer the other day, which is fun. I think is fun. Also, thank you to Gerald Armstrong for that $15 directly to the PayPal Patreon. Thank you. Or directly to my donation box. If you want to super chat, that's cool. Feel free to super chat away. Or just use the Streamlabs link pinned to the top of the chat if you want to drop the late Cronin Christmas gift on the show. Romulus is in the chat. He loves the Dawn, I guess. Bishop is here. Cars are scams. Yeah, right now they're really rough, Yeah, Ghost from the Coast, it's a new year. It's probably part of it. The new Lion King is good, says RG Games. Wow, really? Man, I heard so many people tell me it was just stupid. But if it's good, I'll have to check. Maybe I'll check it out. But I feel like I'd rather see Sonic than the Lion King 2, for sure. But, I'm surprised the younger kids haven't started begging for Sonic yet. My older kids saw Sonic. I'm surprised the younger ones haven't. I think they just forgot with Christmas that Sonic is out, which is good because then I can take them this weekend maybe, because payday's Friday. So that's probably good news. AEW the other night was not the best, in my opinion. Just I don't know what they're doing, but it's Christmas time, so I'm giving it all a pass. Like, everybody's in like cruise control. We don't know, we don't care, sort of a state of mind, which is fine. So whatever. I would argue that people are at home watching, bored, looking for something to watch, and you should try to draw their eyes to you while everybody's on vacation and a break. I mean, the other way to look at it is everybody's doing something they don't care at this point. But, I mean, I just kind of look at it as like, hey, some different eyes might be watching because of Christmas time, holiday time. People are at home maybe, and they check you out like, oh, yeah, remember that? Let me take a look at it. And then if they just see this sort of meandering that you're doing, I just feel like then they go, oh, yeah, this wasn't that good. That's why I stopped watching. Yeah, oh, well, I got to go back to work soon. Yeah, I won't want it. This is whatever. But, like, I have this mindset of, like, hey, man, if you can get 20 to 100,000 new people to be like, hey, you know what? That was actually pretty cool. I'm going to start watching this again, I think. And then next week they try again, and you're good. Then they might hook in, But, I feel like what they put out the last couple of weeks is stuff that's going to make people go, yeah, this is not good, or this is a bad time of year. I'll check back in a couple of weeks, or like, yeah, you know what? I stopped watching. I don't know. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a potential to catch some, momentum, and they're not doing that. I don't know if we can get away with watching the Happy Gilmore teaser, but I think we can. So I'm going to do it anyway. So we'll see what happens. But let's put hit the wrong button. But let's put Gerald Armstrong up here. I'm sorry, Gerald, about that car shit, man. That sucks. I don't even know if my kids are going to have cars. So you're going to take my car, kids. It's funny. I'll one-up you. Gerald Armstrong with the $15. Who's more pathetic? Good thing you got a retirement fund, though. Hopefully things get better, though, for everybody. I don't know. I'm imagine hitting the lottery, bro. $700 million or something, lottery. And we just give money away on the show. That'd be so fun. The show would be about giving money away. I've always thought that'd be fun as fuck. You win $500 million on, like, I win $500 million, and then I just make my show about giving money out to people. Because if you win $500, $600, $700 million, I would just take like $80 million, put it in a bank account. Then I would take the rest of the money, pay all the taxes, pay all the things, pay things, buy everybody's house. Then I would give my kids these crazy retirement funds for, after my kids turn 25 or something, they get access to like $30 million, stuff like that. And then I would go around, whatever. Then I would bank the rest, housing, buy things. And then I just every once in a while, I just come on the air and give away money. That'd be funny as hell. It'd be funny. Or we'd like call your mother's work. You'd be like, hey man, my mother's work this job. She's like 60, she's tired, 70, whatever. And we call your mother or something like that, and she's like, hi, this is Beth Ann. And we go, hi, Beth Ann, what's going on? Your son asked us to call you because, like, you can't retire, and, you really worked to the bone and everything, and he thought it would be nice if we called you and told you that you could go home for the day, and we're going to buy you lunch all week or whatever. And so she thinks it's just some small little thing, like, oh, yay, I'm getting lunch for the rest of the week or whatever. And she's like, that's so nice, or, oh, wow, thank you, like, whatever. And then we go, hey, Beth Ann, you know what's funny? Actually, the crazy thing is I lied about all that stuff, and you're not actually going to get a free meal all week. And then she's like, oh, well, I figured this was BS, And then you'd be like, well, it's even better than that, and you're probably not going to believe it, but you can go home from work right now because we're giving you $5 million or whatever. Like, she just send her home or whatever. Oh my God, bro. Imagine that. And then the YouTube channel would blow up because so many people would be like, wow, this is a crazy channel. They like call people and then they give away and they like, and you call it something cool, like end of career, or like, do you know what I mean? Like your work, like whatever the fuck it is. I mean, obviously we probably couldn't give out $5 million every, whatever, because you run out of money eventually with that. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, we do something crazy, and we, just Make Mr. Beast look like shit. You know? Take that, Mr. Beast, you prick. But Happy Gilmore's out. We got donations to play. Thank you guys for donating to the channel. I will play them in just a minute. So get them out there now if you want. Streamlabs pinned to the top of the chat right now, or you can use Super Chat if you want to do that. Whatever you want to do. Let's take a look at the... it's just a teaser, you know. I think they filmed some of this around my area, too. I think they were casting. I mean, I probably should have... I mean, I'm wearing a Bruins shirt right now. That's funny. But you might have seen this already, but me and Leah last night when we were doing some Christmas stuff, we watched Grandma's Boy. That's like our tradition is that we watch Grandma's Boy. I think it's because we both love it and agree on it. And that's sort of why we do it, but let's see. Netflix just wanted to give you a little boom. There's Sandler hitting the tee, hitting the drive. I mean, it looks like he didn't take a day off the golf course. He's obviously a little tubbier. He's a little bit older. 29 years ago that Happy Gilmore came out. So this is going to come out, what, on the 30th anniversary? When does it come out? That's my question, because I would want to watch it right now. I wonder if this movie is going to be like, I've said this before. I said this a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. Actually, to be honest, I've said this for years. Whenever we bring up Happy Gilmore 2, I always say that that they should turn Shooter McGavin good, and actually Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore have to team up, because Shooter McGavin ends up becoming like a beloved bad guy. He's so bad. And certainly he could be the bad guy in this still and still be that and be this rivalry. But there's a part of people that want to see them kind of, I think, team up, and I always thought that was the thing to do. So I wonder if that's what's going to happen here. I also wonder if Happy Gilmore is going to take kind of a ridiculous multi-universe turn. So instead of Happy Gilmore 2 kind of being like how today is with golf and how the world is today, that Happy Gilmore 2 would kind of take place in an alternate universe where golf is a different type of sport now because Happy Gilmore has changed it, and other people are like Happy Gilmore, and golf has like raging crowds, and it's just a different atmosphere, and golf is almost different than it ever was. And so it's sort of a make-believe universe that's been created because of Happy Gilmore. I'm worried about that because what made Happy Gilmore pretty cool in the first place was that it was Happy Gilmore who was so weird and different in, joining into the sterile environment of golfing, and then how that environment changes a little bit and warps, and how it has to deal with him kind of makes everything funnier. But if the world is adapted to Happy Gilmore now completely, and it's all about him, and he's created this new atmosphere, then how are you going to sort of have that funny, like, I don't know how that's going to work is what I'm saying. It might be too ridiculous. So I think that's a dangerous way to go if you were to go with the world's different because of Happy Gilmore. So I do think that I would, if I was writing the movie, I would be like, you know what, guys, no, I like the idea of Happy Gilmore is actually helping Shooter McGavin. So maybe Shooter McGavin needs like a kidney transplant, or Shooter McGavin's son is struggling or something like that. And so Happy Gilmore volunteers to help for whatever reason, or somehow they get along in a way. And it's almost like Cobra Kai, right? In Cobra Kai, these two rivals come together eventually, and that's fun. So if Happy Gilmore 2 starts off with more of Shooter McGavin's life is ruined, it's wrecked, he's never recovered from what happened, and now they're going to team up for some reason, that would be the way that I would go. So it would be kind of a Cobra Kai type of situation. And I don't know if that's what they're doing, but that's what I've always talked about for the last 3 years at least when we talk about Happy Gilmore 2. Hell, I think I talked about it 8 years ago too, but we'll see. Anyway.
It's great to see you back, Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah, baby!
I mean, the weird thing is this trailer, like, it doesn't look funny at all. Like, it looks like inspiring serious. That makes any sense? Like, this doesn't look too crazy. Now, there's this still frame right here, which is very interesting. There is our AEW friend, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. So, I don't know if this is like Happy Gilmore has kids or if he's teaching a camp on golf or something. Maybe Happy Gilmore is going to have a golfing team versus Shooter McGavin's team, and that's also Cobra Kai-ish. I don't know. But, like, there's MJF, and they all look alike, kind of. So these seem like brother and sisters because they all look very Jewy. You know? So maybe this is Happy Gilmore's kids against, like, Shooter McGavin's kids. I don't know what's going to happen. But that's what that MJF and all these other guys make me think when I see this. There he's all happy about something. There's Doug right there, the man who directed and made the first Happy Gilmore. And he plays like the bad guy, golf course. I forget, the PGA manager guy. I don't remember. So, I don't know. But the trailer is definitely more of a, like, let's reach into your feelings of the nostalgia of Happy Gilmore and movies that you love, as opposed to, hey, remember how funny Happy Gilmore is? It's not really that.
Yeah, baby.
See, it's very serious. Even this is like a very. So they ended up getting together, and he's with his girl, and what's going on here?
We've only just begun.
So, I don't know. It's very. This is like a Hallmark movie shot. See, it's really playing on the heartstrings of the seriousness of how you love that first movie. And why is Shooter McGavin at a grave in his PJs?
Gilmore.
Which I find interesting.
Big David.
So, like, they're really playing up, these two. And you love it. And it's coming out in 2025. So, yeah, it was very serious, kind of intense, really just about playing on the nostalgia of it, which is sometimes dangerous because these movies, they go, oh, you love this movie so much, now we're going to make the movie a little more serious than it was before because you take it seriously and it's not the comedy you thought. Or they try to be too funny and it's not funny. That happens too. So we'll see where it goes from there. So Shooter McGavin, I like it. I'm definitely a Happy Gilmore. I love Happy Gilmore. It's like one of my favorite movies. Top 50, 100 movies. It's in there for me. 90s for sure. My daughter loved it. We watched it together. So that'll be fun. We can watch the second one. I feel like my daughter and my kids have been able to watch all these sequels, and I've been telling them about it too because they're like, this is so weird. Even my kids say it all the time. They're like, Dad, this is that old movie that you like. I guess I've watched it a couple of times, and now there's a new one coming out. Didn't this come out like 50 years ago? And I'm like, 50 years ago? How old do you think I am? But they're right. Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Ghostbusters and stuff. And my kids are like, have kind of like grown up a little bit, like watching me watch these older movies. And they're like, yeah, whatever. It's the old movie. But now there's a new one coming out. And they're like, what the heck? That's so weird. So it's interesting. They think like this is some old thing my dad watches that I think is all right, but I don't really care. But now there's a new one coming out, so then they get like invested because kids are talking about it. So then they think it's cool. So it's a smart idea to do these type of things. I get why they do them because they're touching on our shit like that. Because movies and pop culture and games and things like that have never mattered more in the past than they do now to people who are turning like 35 to 65 years old or whatever, age you are. But like older people, like 35 years old and up, these things mean a lot to us. So we push them on our kids more than our parents ever pushed things on us. And as far as movies and gaming goes and stuff like that. So it's a trickle-down effect that they're hoping for on a lot of these things. So anyway, teaser looks It's just to get you excited about Happy Gilmore 2 in a way that doesn't say anything pretty much about the movie other than Shooter McGavin's back, Happy Gilmore's back, but we don't know what's going on at all. I don't know. We don't know anything beyond that other than it seems like he has kids maybe, and something's going to happen, and I think it's going to bring Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore together, whether they're going to have to work together or they're going to have some kind of rivalry between their kids. I don't know which one of those things it's going to be, but it seems like it's going to be one of those two. I would really bet at and guess. Donations are here. I'm going to go see what you guys are saying. What do you want to say about WWE? What do you want to say about AEW? What do you want to say about the Happy Gilmore trailer? What do you want to say about anything else? Star Trek has retconned, essentially, deleted Star Trek Discovery. That just happened, and I'll mention that quickly in a minute when we get back from the donations or whatever is available to play. The donation link is pinned to the top of the chat. Anything you want to do is awesome, and I'll play it. Or you can super chat if you want to as well. And don't forget, the Corrupted podcast is up right now for members and for patrons on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can listen to me and Luke Rojas do Corrupted podcast. It's up now. 80 of you have already listened to it. Thank you guys for listening to it and being patrons. Or being members. Either way, you get it. If you're a member, you get the video audio version. There's no video, but there's video audio. YouTube link. And then if you're a Patreon person, you get a playable or downloadable audio link to the episode. And I think I'll be adding that to a separate YouTube video, too, that you can access. So some people requested that. So we'll do that. And then the goal is hopefully for the next Corrupted podcast, we'll get 100 people who watch it. Behind a paywall. So that's pretty good for behind a paywall and a show that has been away for a long time and has different people and stuff like that. So I'm fairly happy with how that turned out for the most part. I thought maybe it would get 40 listens, and to get maybe 80 total is better, and hopefully 100 next time, and we'll keep doing it. Let's go. Shit bum.
What about Wrestle Kingdom on the 4th?
Yeah, Donnie Murdoch brings up a great point. Every year, Wrestle Kingdom, super late, weird time. There was a stretch where when I was doing this show, where for 3 years I stayed up late. I watched and I covered Wrestle Kingdom. It was during the era where the reason I probably did it was because it was during the era where there was no AEW really. And it was exciting to watch, Kenny Omega versus Jericho, in some of those other Wrestle Kingdoms. Like Wrestle Kingdom 8, 9, 10, maybe? Or was it 9, 10? Was it 10, 11, 12, 13? I don't remember. I don't even remember what Wrestle Kingdom we're on anymore. I have no idea. I want to say it was Wrestle Kingdom 13, 12, and 11. I don't know. It was some stretch. What Wrestle Kingdom are we on, guys? Do you know? Is it Wrestle Kingdom 16? Does anybody know? Please let me know. And then I'll answer that question. But yeah, I don't think I'll be covering Wrestle Kingdom because there's no way I can do it. But yeah, I think 9 was the first one with English commentary. Yeah. So I've seen a couple of Wrestle Kingdoms in the past when they did not have English commentary. I watched a couple of the old ones. I watched Wrestle Kingdom 5. I watched Wrestle Kingdom 8 or 7. I can't remember. And then I really tuned in to watch Wrestle Kingdom 9, if that was the one, because I think that was the one, too, that they brought English commentary up. And then I think next year was the one where they brought Jim Ross in. And so I really checked out that. And so that sort of infusion of American or English and some people, it really worked for Wrestle Kingdom. I think they sold a lot more in America because of it. I don't think it made a huge difference, but I think it helped them a little bit. And I think when AEW came on the scene, I no longer really cared too much about New Japan or Wrestle Kingdom anymore. I was just kind of watching it because it was something different besides WWE, and there was nothing else going on really at the time but TNA. And there was this kind of infusion of English and American stuff. So for those reasons, I watched, and now I don't. I want to say thank you to Johnzo for becoming a patron. I can't tell if A. O'Donnell you just re-updated, but I think A. O'Donnell just became a $25 producer on Patreon. So, A. O'Donnell, man, thank you for joining Patreon again and for I think being a producer again, I believe. I don't know if you're $20 or $25, but really, really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for being a producer of the show and being on Patreon again. A. O'Donnell, thank you, bro. And, of course, Gerald Armstrong with the top donation of $15. Thank you as well for funding the first hour of this show. And Donnie Murdoch, thank you. So I don't know if I'll be able to catch the Wrestle Kingdom on the 4th, but so I may, but I probably won't.
Super chat party.
PM Experience.
Raw on Netflix will flop.
I don't think that's true. I don't know how it could possibly flop. I have no idea how Raw could flop on Netflix. I don't understand that. It doesn't compute for me. I mean, Raw was only doing a 1.5 million viewership on USA Network. And I would think that Raw on Netflix is going to get more views. So I don't understand how Raw could flop on Netflix. I mean, the only way Raw could flop on Netflix is if less people were to watch Raw on Netflix than watched on USA Network. And I think because it's on Netflix, I think Raw is going to actually get more viewership. So, yeah, I don't see Raw flopping. And also, I see they've already won because the amount of money that they've already gotten for the whole deal is already a win for WWE. So, I don't think it's going to flop. And we're going to find out because when I'm doing my live reviews, if my viewership is up, and trust me, I'm going to look across the board at other people. I'm going to look at every reviewer out there. I'm going to look at the WWE social media numbers. I am going to be, over the next couple of weeks, the first 3 weeks of Netflix Raw, I'm going to be studying the analytics that I see everywhere I can, putting the numbers down. I'm going to be watching WrestleNomics' numbers on Twitter. I'm going to be doing everything I can to gauge how things are. And if they remain consistent, which they probably could, but if they do or not. But, so I don't know if it's going to be a flop. If anything, it's just going to do as well as the USA Network one did. So that's why I don't think it can be a flop. And again, there's going to be more opportunities for people to see the show, I think, on Netflix. So I just think by chance, by default, by the idea that it's in front of more eyes than it has been anywhere, it kind of can't flop. You know what I mean? It just kind of can't flop. That's the problem, because it's just there's so many people just stupidly could be viewing it by dumb reasons or by just scrolling through Netflix and this big live wrestling thing is popping up on the main channel. I mean, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be too big to fail on Netflix. If I'm wrong, listen, I'll be out here ranting about how I'm wrong. But I don't know. NFL on Netflix, over 200 countries tuned in at some point during Christmas. During Steelers. Steelers Chiefs is already the second most popular live title on Netflix to date. Nearly 1/3 of Netflix's global concurrents are watching Chiefs and Steelers. That's crazy. Netflix has eclipsed peak concurrent viewers of any Christmas in the past 4 years. Those are according to Netflix. So you put the NFL on Netflix, and it breaks Netflix records. So I'm going to assume, based on the boxing match that happened a little while ago, and based on the NFL now on Netflix, and based on what we'll see with WWE on Netflix, that they will also break every record for a wrestling show ever on Netflix, which will break whatever USA Network would have gotten from WWE Raw. So I'm just looking at those numbers. thinking it's probably going to be a good thing. Hey! Oh, Joe Bishop, thank you, bro. Oh my God, I might be able to eat today.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard.
Thank
I
God.
got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
They were like toys for us.
They were like toy for us. Here's the thing. They were like a toy for us. You know that? They were like a toy for us.
Super chat party.
I am Prayash Majumdar Joe. I renamed my channel.
Oh, Presh Muhamdar changed his channel name to PM Experience. Okay, I got you. That makes sense. I was like, we got another person in India. Thank you. PM Experience. I'll remember that with the PM. Presh Muhamdar. Thank you for the 40, man. The currency exchange. Thank you, sir. What a wonderful beast.
New subscriber.
Thank you, bro.
Fucking Mark.
E54. Thanks for subbing to the channel, E54. What's going on? We've been having a good time here so far. Did Catman sue you? No, I said he didn't sue me. He sent me a cease and desist 5 years ago, something like that. He sent me like a cease and desist over nothing, really. Basically, like, people used to joke about him and cats, and so I repeated those jokes, and he thought that, oh, I should sue you over that, or I should cease and desist you over that. And then he also in the letter attacked me about a website, but I had nothing to do with the website. That was my co-host did that, so it had nothing to do with me. It was like a website that he made or whatever, so it was like retarded. And then the other thing that was in the letter that was like angry was his ex-girlfriend called the show and said things about him. So like he was basically trying to cease and desist me over things that his ex-girlfriend said. And I'm like, you fucking idiot. Like, how does that have anything to do with me? Like, the girl called the show and said stuff. I don't know. So, yeah, he's a weird person, but I don't know. We don't really have a problem anymore, I don't think. But, yeah, that was a while ago. But, yeah, so you saw MJF in the trailer of Happy Gilmore. So there's the shot. He looks like he's one of Happy Gilmore's kids. Or like part of a, maybe he's part of like a camp or something, a golfing camp that, you know, Happy Gilmore's doing. But yeah, MJF, he looks a little too happy here. MJF. All the boys here look a little too happy. Like they look like, I mean, Happy Gilmore makes sense, right? He's getting him a little too happy down there. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he really does. I don't know how they got MJF to do this like Breakfast Club look on his face. You know? Very Breakfast Club here from MJF. So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be about, again, like I said.
Super chat party.
Oh,
I
please.
miss your backyard live videos, Joe.
I know. I'll probably, maybe I'll do one this in a couple of days, Presh. Maybe I'll go out back and I'll light up the fire. I'll light up the stove out back. I'll put some rocks around, some fire stove. I'll throw some wood on it. I'll grab a beer. I'll get bundled up, and I'll sit next to the stove fire, and I'll just rant and rave and talk to you with a nice fire going. I'll cook some soup on it, and we'll do an outdoor experience. How about that? Maybe we'll do that. So anyway, thank you for those super chats. And thank you to Joe Bishop, who dropped $9, man. Joe, thank you so much, man. That helps out a big time lot. I really appreciate that, bro. I might be able to grab some milk. I can use that for milk, baby. I got milked because of Joe Bishop and because of Gerald Armstrong, because that money goes right to the PayPal, and PayPal works with buying food in the grocery store. So thank you, brother. We're going to get some milk because of you. Appreciate that. We went over Happy Gilmore. Again, I either think that Happy Gilmore is going to team up with Shooter McGavin, or I think that they're going to have their own team's rivalry or something like that. And hopefully they won't do the first thing I said, which is making the universe a kind of Happy Gilmore universe that's changed because of Happy Gilmore. Golf is totally different because of Happy Gilmore. In fact, there's even like mini golf stuff in golf because of Happy Gilmore. Like, that would be too much. I think that would be retarded. So I'm worried that that could be what happens, because it makes sense. So I get it, but I don't know. I don't think they should do that. So hopefully it's that Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore have to team up, or that obviously they have a rivalry again with kids or something like that. But the trailer really has kind of a serious tone. Again, like I said, it's like a very, like, kind of a Hallmark Channel serious tone. Get ready, because you love this movie. It means so much to people that we're doing this emotional thing, as opposed to it's silly and goofy and slapstick, and that's the trailer or teaser or whatever, which is fine, because that's good. You don't want to just go there either, but it's just interesting that that's sort of,
Come on out, you rapist!
how it comes across. Mickey K9 has become a member again on the chat on the channel 37 months in a row. And you know what that means? That means he now has access to the Corrupted podcast. So enjoy the Corrupted podcast with me and Luke Rojas. It's up in the members section now on this channel, and you can get it on Patreon as well. Thank you. Netflix might have set plans. Yeah, they might. Maybe there's going to be a Happy Gilmore universe. I don't know. Good Lord, no. Good Lord, no. It will do very well. Can't catch Raw live currently, says Delta. Yeah, and as I'm going to get rid of my YouTube TV, I'm going to get rid of YouTube TV because I'm not going to be watching any NFL games going forward, and I'm not going to be watching wrestling on there. I guess AEW was. I don't know where I'm going to watch AEW. I'll have to find a place to watch AEW. Is it on Hulu? Because YouTube TV is too much. It's like $90 now, so I'm getting rid of it. And that means that I'll still have Netflix, and I'll be able to watch Raw there. And then I will maybe have Hulu or not. Either way, I'll be saving $30 or $40 regardless. But if I get rid of Hulu, then I'll be saving like $60. So I'll probably just watch AEW on some free streaming place or whatever. I'm betting. Unless I hit the lottery tomorrow, and then I'll buy all of it and fuck it. But that being said, I think we're gonna close out. I mean, I think I went over kind of some basic ideas of WWE and the Royal Rumble. When the Royal Rumble's time, when the Netflix time kicks in, we're gonna get ready for Netflix next week or whatever it is. We'll be ready to talk about that and study that and go over the numbers of everything. Then we'll be kind of waiting for AEW to come out of its death. It's in for me right now. So maybe AEW in a week or 2 weeks will start picking up again, hopefully. Right now I don't care. And then you know, I'm waiting to see when around Happy Gilmore 2 is going to come out. That's interesting. A lot of stuff that's going to be on Max, all the Dynamite and Collisions. Okay, I don't think I have HBO Max, but so if I don't have HBO Max, then I'm probably not going to get it for right now. I don't think I'll get HBO Max until Stranger Things comes out again. So that, I mean, that could work though, because isn't HBO Max $9? I mean, when you add it all up, it's crazy. But yeah, if you're somebody, the crazy thing is for the people out there that have Max, Hulu, and Netflix, and Peacock or something like that, for those people that have all of those, and then you have YouTube TV on top of that, I mean, it's going to be a no-brainer. I mean, for the most part, you're just going to be like, yep, goodbye, $90 YouTube, you know, and you're going to just save a ton of money because you're going to watch everything on Netflix, everything on those other channels that you already have, and you're going to cut your bill down, you know, because why would you ever, you know, YouTube TV is just too much. It's just way too much. I mean, $30, $40, $50, maybe, yeah, you do it. But there is no way, even at $60, it's like, after $50, it's like, no, that just seems crazy. I was doing this to save money from cable. Now it's more money than cable. I don't think so. So, oh yeah, Stranger Things is a Netflix show. What am I talking about? You're right. So I'll never be getting Mac. Maybe I will. I mean, shit. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know it's all too much money. I know that. I know it's too much. That's crazy. You're right. Why did I think Stranger Things was on HBO? Fucking stupid. What's wrong with me? I have brain problems, guys. I've been on the air now for about an hour or so. My brain is starting to fry at this point. That's usually what happens. I'm going to be putting out a couple of videos today and throughout the week, so look for those videos to pop up in your feed. Come back to my channel to look anyway and watch some things, click some likes. Help me out with the algorithm if you can. It's up to you guys. You're the army. To come back here and just watch multiple videos, click like button, watch older stuff that I have available, watch my shorts. Do whatever you can to help the channel. Come back and keep watching shit. I don't know. Go to Patreon and check out Corrupted Podcast if you haven't seen that yet. And then, of course, I'll be live on Saturday night for Monetize This. I'll be live if there's any breaking wrestling news, but I will be putting out wrestling videos, shorts, and some other things. So look for those here on the channel. There is a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, Splinter Fate. Yeah, I saw that. That looks pretty good, too. Short but fun. Yeah, it kind of looks fun. I kind of like it. 5G waves. Yeah, they could be frying my brain as we speak, those 5G waves. Star Trek Discovery is no longer canon. In one of the cartoons of Star Trek that's out right now, its last episode, they basically said that Star Trek Discovery, the Klingons are different because it's an alternate universe. And they essentially retconned alternate universe Star Trek Discovery. Now, a lot of people always thought Star Trek Discovery was an alternate universe, but they never really said it. So you got in fights with people who are like, it's the real Star Trek, you fucking asshole. But now we know it's not. So that's great. So now I think it's a great thing for Star Trek because now if you watch Star Trek Discovery, you don't have to watch it and be angry. You can watch it and be like, oh, this isn't really Star Trek. So it's like an alternate universe Star Trek. So I guess I'll watch it because it's stupid, but it's not really Star Trek, so no big deal, whatever. So now people that kind of don't like it or hate it might be able to watch it, although it still sucks, though, so maybe people watch it and be like, no, I'm not going to watch that anyway. Fine. But I do think it's going to piss off a lot of Star Trek Discovery fans who like the show because they're going to be like, oh, it's not, well, I'm going to say it is anyway, fuck it. So I think it kind of works for everybody. Even if it's not canon, the people who love it are still going to think it's canon for whatever reason. And you know, people that don't think it's canon and don't like it and hate it, now it's not canon, so they can be like, oh, thank God Star Trek's not really ruined for me. So cool, because Star Trek Discovery is a piece of shit show, and I'm glad it's not canon now, thank God. They just need to do that with a few other things, and we'll be good, but especially that. So that's cool. I do think that Star Trek Discovery Season 1 at the end, the last season, at the end of the first season, there's a really crazy reveal that's really cool, I think, and actually is really kind of neat. So, very interesting there. But other than that, the show was a piece of shit. So I'm happy for all you Star Trek fans. Rejoice and be happy about that. I'll talk about that on my Star Trek channel, which is called Star Trek Late Night. If you want to see my Star Trek channel, that's where that is. And again, I got to get out of here, I guess. But Gerald Armstrong was the top donator. Gerald, thank you for that $15, man. I appreciate that. That's literally milk money. Thank you, sir. 2 milks. Joe Bishop with $9 as well that padded that for us. Appreciate that. So thank you for being here. And also, again, reminder to check out the Corrupted Podcast because it's available right now on Patreon and on a membership page here on YouTube. If you haven't listened to Corrupted Podcast with me and Luke, go check it out now. If you have a Patreon subscription to me, that's the best way to go. You can download the audio, play the audio via the Patreon app. Here's the link right now to that in the chat. Check it out. And we'll see you soon. I'll be putting out videos. So when I put out videos, feel free to comment, like them, do all that stuff. That really helps me out. I know you guys know that. But a lot of channels get a lot of support, and right now, as far as comments and likes, I don't get a lot of that. So maybe that's my fault. I'm not engaging you guys enough. I'm not engaging people enough. But if you got something to say, spit it out. Load the comments with it. Drop it. Super thanks works, too. That's cool. I get paid. Super thanks. That's nice. But you can just comment, like, do all that stuff. Do it more on my channel than anyone else's, if you can, because my channel's lacking in some of that. But that could be my fault. I'll work on trying to be more engaging. It's usually the creator's fault if there's only 2 or 3 comments. Thank you, and go listen to Corrupted now. You won't want to miss Luke Rojas Unhinged. See you soon.